A student is raising funds for solar lights on campus.
See how another fellow Argo fights for mental awareness.
Looking for amusement? Check out the Harlem Globetrotters.
All this and more today on Argo News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Argo News. I'm Taja Ing.
And as you know, I'm Tony Reed, and we have an impeccable lineup for viewers who are tuning in today.
It's no secret that weddings can be stressful. Reporter NC Net and I has more on how to relieve that stress.
Where will you be on your big day?
Bridal expos are nothing new. They're just a good place to go when you want to meet all the vendors you could possibly need. So if you've just gotten engaged and you have no idea where to start, you can go to a bridal expo and meet a photographer, florist, makeup artist, hairstylist, musicians or DJs, everybody you could possibly need, a baker, all in one place, and get to really see their work and see their portfolio before you make any decisions. So it's kind of nice. Generally, the cool part is you get to meet them and you get to see pictures of their work, and a lot of times some vendors will bring stuff with them. So bakers will bring actual like cookies, cakes, treats, different things like that. Florists will have floral arrangements there with them, so you can kind of see a preview of their work before you hire them. Weddings are expensive because they're important and because you have to make sure that every single detail is absolutely perfect. And so, often there is markup, of course, but when you hire a photographer to shoot something that's not really that important, if you don't get all the shots you wanted, okay. But if you hire a photographer for your wedding and they don't get the first kiss or the first dance or your father kissing you on the cheek before he hands you off to your groom, it's kind of a big deal. So,
The first annual Gulf Coast Bridal Expo puts brides in touch with florists, photographers, and everyone else you need to have the perfect wedding. I'm NC Net tonight, reporting for Argo News.
A group of students are having a food drive. Rebecca Worley has more.
Have you ever heard of the Argo Pantry? Well, a group of students are doing a food drive to help raise awareness.
I am in Dr. Gloria Horning's students or social justice movements class, and everybody has a project that we're supposed to work on all semester, and my group of 4 people decided to work on homeless in the area, and that ended up kind of concentrating it to homeless population here at EWF, which we actually have a homeless population. We were kind of trying to figure out how can we get a hold or how can we help those students here on campus that are homeless or struggling, and because they don't really acknowledge that they're homeless. We actually got in touch with Argo Pantry, which is the food pantry here on campus. And we were just we want to raise awareness that, the Argo Pantry can't keep up with the demand. So one of the biggest things that we've come across, especially working with Argo Pantry, is they've given us data, and they had 300 new cases just in the last fall semester of students coming in and needing things from Argo Pantry. But a lot of students don't know that Argo Pantry exists, so therefore there's more statistics, such as the possible 10 people plus or minus here on campus that are homeless. Also, the student population, 40% of the student population is considered under the poverty line. And so the food drive is happening through April 11th. If you can't donate during that time, you can always donate to the Argo Pantry itself in Building 21.
If you need help or would like to donate, go to Building 21 on the UWF main campus. I'm Rebecca Worley reporting for Argo News.
Graduating seniors are making plans for themselves in the near future. Reporter Natasha Geronimi has more.
While this may be the end of an educational journey for some, this is also a continuation towards something greater for others.
So in my role as the Student Government Association Graduate Assistant, I advise the legislative branch of SGA. My main job is to make sure that they get the advising that they need, do all the purchases. We meet one-on-one weekly, and then I also do office admin work. So for me, I knew that when looking at graduate school, I knew in my end goal that I wanted to work with college students. So in looking at schools, I chose schools that were public institutions that offered full tuition graduate assistantships. And I looked for programs that would help me further myself to get to where I wanted to be in my career. So I ended up here at University of West Florida because of that. This program, I would say some things that I didn't expect would be the close-knit of the group. So I have a small cohort of 14 of us, and in second years there's 8 of them. So we're really close to each other, and I really thought that professors were going to be like so serious, so strict. But then like after the first class, I'm like, this might be a little easy, you know? When going from college to graduate school, it's really more about self-motivation and you putting in the work. I figured, why not go straight into graduate school while I have the opportunity to.
So whether it's filling out job applications or looking up your next class schedule for the fall, the University of West Florida wishes you the best of luck. I'm Natasha Geronimi reporting for Argo News.
While there are lights to guide students at night, it won't be enough to unveil a lurking darkness. Greg Hartung has more.
In the aftermath of several terrible incidences occurring here on campus, one student has decided that enough was enough.
So the Solar Lights campaign is raising awareness for the assaults that happen on campus. We all get the emails, but as you know, not everyone checks their emails. So we're hoping that by spreading the word that we're raising this money for solar lights, they'd go, oh, why do you need a solar light? Well, because campus is dark. And maybe if we can brighten campus, we can stop some assaults. So one of the benefits we have right now for donations is that the lights themselves, with all the hardware, is $75. So if you donate $75 or more, I am buying everyone little plaques to stick on the lights with their name. So your name would be on the light to say, hey, I donated this, this was me. So all of the money that we are collecting is going towards the lights themselves. We have to personally buy all the equipment to donate to maintenance, and then they're going to set everything up. So the lights are $50. All of the hardware, the poles and the mounting equipment is $25, so $75 for the light. And we just take it, we go out, we buy it, we bring it back to campus, and they set it up. Our cause is Take Back the Night. With the Wellness Center here on campus, they do their event on April 7th, and we wanted to work with them. So we are hoping through the Solar Lights fundraiser to help bring awareness to their campaign. Students can contribute. We are collecting cash and check donations at the Take Back the Night event April 7th at 5:30 in the Commons.
With enough donations, her cause will hopefully make UWF a safer place. I'm Greg Hartung reporting for Argo News.
Finding the workout program that fits your lifestyle is important to making the positive changes you deserve.
Getting in shape is more than just push-ups and crunches. It's a lifestyle change.
Because of the lifting weights, I've been saving my money really hard. I started boot camp to fund my kids' college, and so I have to be careful about how much I spend out of that. But probably in the next month, we will have a rig on this back wall, hopefully the length of it, and we'll be lifting some serious weights where we can rack them and get them better and more comfortable on the bars and teach them more Olympic lifting, and that's the goal. I want to replace that fat with muscle and do it in the best way, so they feel comfortable about what they're doing, and so they'll continue to do this forever. I see, I have a lady that came to me with, I have a lot of ladies that come to me with medical problems, high blood pressure, cholesterol medicines that they're on. I have a big supporter in town, Dr. Cometz, that allows me to put my business cards there at Main Street Medical. Yay, Dr. Cometz. But, and he encourages people to come start working out with me and to see them come off those medicines. And they're not at the weight that they want to be, but to see them come off the medicines, there is nothing better than that. You know, being able to get on the ground with their grandchildren, that's what it's all about.
Get off the couch and find a workout program that works best for you. I'm Ben White reporting for Argo News.
Pensacola is full of talent. Taja Ng has more on a particular form of art.
Looking to add a creative splash to your look?
I believe what makes me different from other makeup artists is my artistic ability and my love for people. I love people and I love art, and I believe that when people are taken care of and when they're polished, they shine versus just slapping some makeup on or some body paint on. You know, I like to help the person actually transform. My inspiration for art comes from God, the Creator Himself. I get a lot of my creative juice from God, and it just flows out. It's expression, raw expression. So anytime I'm painting, whether it be canvas or on a person or on a wall, it's just pure creative expression from God. The difference between body paint and theatrical makeup is with theatrical makeup, I'm using actual pigments and makeup products. And with body paint, I'm just using paint. So with theatrical makeup, I can use everything. But with body paint, I'm just covering the canvas with actual paint. I start at $45 for a full face, including lashes. I also do brows as well, eyebrow shaping. But theatrical makeup starts at $65 and body paint starts at $100. And it goes up or down depending on how intricate the design request is. In the near future, I can see my business growing where I can reach more people at one time. I plan on doing a permanent installation at Gallery Night every month. And I also want to start doing classes where I can teach people in a relaxed atmosphere where there's no pressure and they can have fun.
Allow Tiffany McQueen to polish and enhance your look. I'm Taja Ing, reporting for Argo News. The state of Florida possesses many different types of exotic wildlife. This past weekend, Repticon visited Pensacola to educate locals on animals that live around them.
Lack of knowledge is what leads to many people's fear of reptiles. Well, Repticon came to Pensacola this past weekend to put all those fearful feelings to rest.
Reptiday is a scaled down version of our Repticon shows, which is a 2-day reptile show, and you get basically the same experience as going to one of our Repticons, all packed into one day instead of spread out over 2 days. We're literally from coast to coast. We go to Costa Mesa, California, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina, Atlanta, Georgia, Baltimore. We strive to educate people on reptiles and exotic animals in general. It's not so much about the sale of animals, but it's also about the education. So we like the education aspect as well. Animals are available for purchase as well. I've been doing reptiles for close to 25 years, so it's just something that's always been a passion of mine, and I've been breeding reptiles for that long at least. Get educated about them. Education alleviates a lot of fear. So people just misunderstand a lot of times, so when you get a better understanding of the animals, the less fearful you are of them.
Proper care and proper knowledge is what leads to a long and happy life for your reptile. And if you don't own one yet, come back on August 13th when Repticon returns to Pensacola. For right now, I'm Karina DiGregorio, reporting for Argo News.
As we start moving faster and faster into the future, we will start noticing more things that we leave behind.
CDs. Everyone's listened to these, but these little compact discs might soon be going by the wayside.
The crystal clear digital audio, because you could listen to them in your car, on your Walkman, jogging on the beach. It was new, it was like a flavor of the week or the decade. So it was, this crazy new technology where, the needle didn't touch the record. When a new Rage Against the Machine or a new, like the third Sublime or the second Wu-Tang or whatever, Beastie Boys, Ill Communication, whatever, when that would come out, I would have, or like maybe the weeks before it was released, I would have 2-3 dozen people come in and like pre-order, ask about it, or like say, get me one, here's my number. You know, for a small little mom and pop, that was a lot. You know, to have 38 people pre-order, you know, Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire. But then later on, by the time, you know, Iron Flag by Wu-Tang came out, it was like 1 or 2, 3 people. So 2 words, iTunes. Napster, that's another word. YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, they were kind of pricey, and you could just buy one song for 99 cents or whatever, or rip it off LimeWire for free. So, you know, why pay for digital music? We can get it for free, or $1 for that one song you want.
If history tells us anything, it's that only time will tell what stands the test of time. I'm Ian Frost, reporting for Argo News.
Ever thought about what it takes to play on one of the nation's most historical basketball teams? Argo News reporter Tony Reed has the answer.
While celebrating their 90th anniversary, the Harlem Globetrotters stopped here in Pensacola, Florida to show off their theater, comedy, plus athleticism.
My brother would take me all around the city playing basketball as a kid, so I grew to love the game of basketball, but I wasn't very good growing up, so he would take me and I'd be on the sideline just kind of, you know, twirling the ball on my finger, and then I learned later that there's people that pay you to do this, so it ended up being a job for me. One of my coaches said to me specifically, he said, all you ever do is smile and dunk, man, smile and dunk. And today, the Globetrotters pay me to smile and dunk. I'm actually in the Guinness Book of World Records for the most slam dunks in 1 minute. You look at the success in the NBA and with the Harlem Globetrotters, it's the teams that are enjoying themselves, you know, giving high fives, always smiling, enjoying what they're doing out there, that are doing well. Don't take this game too seriously and don't be a mean person. Also, you have to be coachable. I tell people everywhere, you know, the best advice I can give somebody is to be coachable. There's plenty of athletes out there who everything is just given to them and they don't listen to their coaches. But I played a lot of minutes over people who were better basketball players than me, probably better shooters, better rebounders, but because I was coachable and my coach knew he could trust me with his plan and his philosophy, he would put me out there on the court, and eventually I got better than those people. And you know, that's not just in basketball and in sports, but be coachable in life. Listen to your parents, listen to your teachers, listen to your boss. Anybody that wants to sit there and give you any type of information and knowledge, it's free for you to listen, so you might as well hear them out.
For more information on how to catch a Harlem Globetrotters game, visit harlemglobetrotters.com. I'm Tony Reed reporting for Argo News. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Batman versus Superman. Argo News reporter Niger Lambie has more.
Emily Britt, manager of Carmike Cinemas, gives insight on the Batman versus Superman craze.
It was kind of, it wasn't anticipated. We kind of, when we were discussing what we thought I was going to do this weekend, we thought it was going to be like Deadpool. You know, mostly, I mean, and we were busy for Deadpool, and it was a little unexpected, but it wasn't like this. As hectic as it was. And I mean, we've been seeing Star Wars numbers here. So that was really, really unexpected. When it's something, like when Star Wars came out, we were really prepared for it. We kind of battened down the hatches and it went a lot more smoothly because of that. For this, you know, we had some people scheduled, but we did not expect it to be like this. Then that plus the rain plus spring break just kind of all came together, and it's just been completely insane. For this one, it was our premiere night, having everybody come out and, like I said, in costume. We had a Batman, Superman, a Wonder Woman, the Flash. I feel like there was one more that I can't, Robin, Aquaman, and Cyborg, I think is his name. I'm not familiar with that one. They're all kind of hinted at. This movie is basically just setting us up for all these individual movies. So the Flash is in it. It's not the Flash from the TV show. It's a different guy. But yeah, that was the most fun. You know, a lot of people had fun with that. Taking pictures and everything with everyone in costumes. The worst part has really just been having to tell people why they have to stand outside in line.
According to Emily, Batman vs. Superman has been doing huge numbers despite the negative critic reviews. So I guess I'll take it upon myself to watch the movie. I'm Niger Lambie, reporting for Argo News.
Ever wonder what happens behind the scenes at Argo News?
Are you curious to see what goes on behind the camera? Basically what Argo News is, it's practicum class for students who are telecommunication majors. Basically, you get every part of the news aspect. So you get the interview, you get how to edit a package, and then how it all gets put together. You get a chance to produce, you get a chance to direct. Any position that you really want in the workplace, you can have an opportunity in Argo News. So I really think it's beneficial for those who want to work in the industry. Best part of Argo News is definitely knowing that I don't want to work in news. I realized that if I do any part of news, it's going to be behind the scenes work, like the editing and working on packages and getting interviews. I definitely won't work in broadcast area. You definitely get to see other people's strengths and weaknesses, especially their weaknesses really show when you're in charge. So, but it's been really fun and very educational, and I appreciate, especially our teacher is very good at what he does. So it's really helpful that he's been in the industry and that he's known what he's been doing for quite some time. So, going into college, I started off as an engineering major, and then I ended up switching to telecommunication just because I knew I wasn't going to want a desk job. So I switched last minute entering college, and I really think that it was beneficial to me. I love everything I do, and although news isn't really what I want to work in, it's good to see this side of the production element and how everything gets put together. My plans for the future, I definitely want to be a producer. I loved that side of it, and I actually got the opportunity to do it twice in Argo News. And when a show gets produced, it's like the most gratifying feeling that I have ever experienced when your teacher says, okay, go turn it into the news station to be produced. So that's definitely has affected what I want to do in the future. I would love that feeling more often than just 2 times in a college class. So,
a lot of work goes into making a show run smoothly, and this crew definitely makes the magic happen. I'm Jasmine Shivers, reporting for Argo News.
UWF always has a new department attracting students to join.
This new major is gaining traction because of the students seeing the need for it in the near future. I go behind the scenes with the teacher to learn more.
The Supply Chain Logistics Management degree is a new degree that UWF is offering. It's less than a year old, and we've had a number of students already declare from it. Went from 0 to 60. What it does is prepare students for day-to-day management of supply chain logistics operations, not only for supply chain firms, like a UPS or FedEx, but also for hospitals. It really started from a demand of students. We were fortunate enough to offer about 10 years ago 1 class in supply chain logistics management, and just from the feedback of students, they wanted more and more classes that emphasize supply chain logistics management. Not only because of the interest that they had in the topic, but also because of the students could see almost the world changing where this job became more prevalent in the industry. What's nice about supply chain logistics management is something that they can earn, and it can kind of stay with them. It's not company specific. A lot of these tools and concepts are easily transferable from not only company to company, but industry to industry. I think the number one goal is just to prepare students for success, no matter what they do, what career, what company they start with. It's to prepare students for success, and that's by teaching a basic set of skills that they have and can take with them from whatever job they might have. We have a website, right? The uwf.edu. If you go to the College of Business and find the Supply Chain Logistics Management major, students can find more about the opportunities for the degree, but also our student-driven Supply Chain Logistics Management Association, where students kind of interact at a level outside of the university, but they set up tours for different facilities.
If you want more information on the Supply Chain Logistics Management degree, go to their website for more information. I'm Robin Medeiros, reporting for Argo News.
After multiple attempts, one UWF student's dedication for mental health awareness is now finally being paid off.
The University of West Florida provides a Nautilus card for every student. Within the last 4 years, they have changed the front design, although the back still remains the same. Until recently, one UWF student has taken this matter into her own hands.
New IDs will have the Suicide Prevention Lifeline number and the Rape Crisis Lifeline. Well, I had the idea a long time ago, but when I went to the Active Minds conference in the fall, they had a few other schools implement that, and it seemed to be successful for them. So I wanted that to happen here. I'm hoping to eventually get it into all of the syllabi across campus, but there's a lot of steps to that process, and then hopefully get all the faculty and staff trained in QPR. QPR training is question, persuade, refer. It's a suicide gatekeeper training that is meant to help facilitate the knowledge needed to and the confidence to help people in crisis get to places like the counseling center. Hopefully to implement it all over the country, because it's a very easy, cost-effective way to reach a lot of people.
The new Nautilus cards will be released at the beginning of fall 2016. I'm Allie Hartung reporting for Argo News.
A nonprofit organization is conflicting with major food corporations. Reporter Jenna Bailey gets both sides of the story.
Can a penny more per pound truly make a difference in the lives of farm workers? One local organization thinks so.
You know, in the beginning, the campaign was to try to get the farmers to start paying the farm workers more. But the thing is, the farm workers are being squeezed by, you know, the food corporations, you know, the grocery chains, the, you know, restaurants, fast food industry. They're more or less setting the prices and telling the farmers, we'll only pay you this much for your tomatoes or whatever, and take it or leave it. And so the person growing the produce is really kind of in a bad situation. You know, it's like they can only afford to pay the farm workers so much because they're only getting paid so much by the, you know, buyers. So that's when the campaign shifted over to start putting pressure on the consumers, like the grocery chains and the fast food industry and so forth, to try to put pressure on them to start paying actually a penny more per pound for the tomatoes to be passed directly to the farm workers.
Publix has released a statement for the media on the CIW campaign titled, "Put It in the Price." Quote, "Why not just pay the penny? We don't believe just paying the penny is the right thing to do for Publix or our suppliers. Simply stated, Publix is more than willing to pay a penny more per pound, or whatever the market price for tomatoes will be, in order to provide product to our customers. However, we will not pay employees of other companies directly for their labor. That is the responsibility of their employer, and we believe all parties will be better served if appropriate wages were paid by growers to their workers, and we were charged accordingly." For more information on the Fair Food Agreement, go to CIW.org. And for more information on Publix side of the story, go to Publix.com and search "Put It in the Price." I'm Jenna Bailey reporting for Argo News.
Jazz Fest offers a fun weekend with music, class, and more.
The 33rd Annual Pensacola Jazz Fest offers a fun, music-filled way to enjoy your weekend.
Well, Jazz Pensacola has been presenting this free Jazz Fest here in Pensacola for over 30 years. I think this is the 33rd Annual Jazz Fest. We also have monthly events. We have a jam session on the first Monday of every month, and we have Jazz Gumbo, which features local and regional groups, on the third Monday of every month. So jazzpensacola.com is our website, and lots of good information. But of course, Jazz Fest is our big thing every year. It's free, totally free. There'll be school bands, middle school, high school, and college. And then the afternoons, both Saturday and Sunday, will be featuring a variety of groups, and including like Roman Street from Mobile, who's an outstanding, they're kind of guitar, gypsy, contemporary jazz. We've got Dixieland, we've got big band, smooth jazz, contemporary jazz, a whole wonderful variety of groups. There'll be food trucks here with a nice variety of really good quality food. We have a beer and wine tent, so everybody can catch a little bit of a glass of beer, a glass of wine, whatever, and it's very family friendly. Both Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock we have a jazz jam for kids, where the little kids get to get either a harmonica or a kazoo, and wonderful musician Mike Potters kind of leads them in a jam session.
Be sure to join Jazz Pensacola for their other events throughout the year.